So every post that I've seen about Pride by somebody, there's always someone commenting, when's Military Appreciation Day or month or whatever. And then Trump throws a big military appreciation parade. Where you guys at? Why didn't you guys go to his big military parade? There was nobody there. I just think it's interesting that you guys seem to bitch so much.
I don't know if
we're starting off on a little bit of a hot note, but
politics, what we've always been waiting to discuss in this podcast.
I looked at pictures of it today because I was just like, what did it look like? And,
hysterical.
Yeah.
It looked like
Yeah.
literally, it looked like a Wes
pictures yet.
Anderson
little
movie.
little light.
Yeah, not well attended, but you guys were asking for military appreciation, and then he throws a big military appreciation parade, and you didn't show up.
I mean,
The
but that's like,
parade
I'm sure
was
just
like light. I thought they were gonna have
Better
more
stuff.
Yeah.
No, they're not. People aren't traveling to the Capitol unless you're going to let them bust into the building
Well, that's
and try
the
to
thing.
kidnap
The
senators
only
and
reason
shit.
that I believe that January 6th was orchestrated by the left is that people actually showed up.
Oh, that's interesting.
Welcome to Cleveland, America. That is all. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to Cleveland, America.
It's not a serious place.
Hi.
Anymore after that little bit.
No, I don't think we've turned a corner, but I think even a lot of people on the right were like, yeah, not the best use of resources, if we're being honest. Like, literally, if you watch the video, is fucking hilarious.
Oh, they're so funny.
The troops aren't marching in sync. There's so few people there. You can hear the treads on the tank treads squeaking and creaking as they go by.
And they have
there's no one there.
They have like a very light music playing, but you can hear birds warbling over
They're
the music.
played Fortunate Son. That's the song that Donald Trump decided to play. And I don't really feel like I need to explain the meaning of that song, but that's the music they piped into the air during the parade.
Yeah.
It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no fortunate son, y'all.
Yeah, there's
Jesus, did they really?
Yes.
Yeah, and then nobody's like, hey, Donnie. This is gonna make you look like an idiot.
Do you think
Let's
he's
pick a
gotten
better
where he's
song.
gotten by being surrounded by people that checked him on his bad
all the
ideas?
Right.
Of course not.
no.
It's all hilarious.
So I'm just curious why those people that are so adamant about there being military appreciation didn't show up to appreciate the military.
Oh,
Yeah.
on a positive note, I think the Army blocked him selling like MAGA hats and like souvenirs, whatever, on an Army base.
Oh, really?
Because that's like illegal or
Yeah.
something. Like you
Yeah,
can't
there's a
do
lot
that.
of stuff that's illegal that he does.
Well, yeah, but which means
That's funny. That's the line they drew. That right there.
Well, which means he doesn't have the full support of the Army.
Right.
So
He doesn't have the full support of anybody. He mostly has
he's-
people that just don't like gay
Black
people
people,
and black
gay
people,
people,
and so
immigrants.
that's when they rally around him. Like if
Yeah.
they did a white person appreciation day, then I bet they get some people showing up.
It's
Right.
like to a way more diabolical extent. You know when you sit next to some dude at a bar you don't really care for,
Yeah.
and then you stumble upon you both happen to not like the one guy that's sitting in the corner,
Enemy of my
and they're
enemy is
like,
my friend, yeah.
you feel like that weird energy. Really, it's just that, but with like poor white people and Donald Trump.
And greedy white people.
Oh, and super, super rich.
Yeah,
But there's a lot more poor white people.
But
than
there's a
there
lot
are
of
super,
greedy
super
white
rich
people like in that in between too. That like, but because they started their business in the '90s, and then things got shitty when Obama became president. But it was because of George Bush. But they blame Obama and blah blah blah. So like they just and they were able to get away with stuff. They were able to be sexist. They were able to,
I just think
be
people-
shitty, and they didn't want to change.
I think people just really want to also just say fag and retard a lot more.
And now you can. So let's get a better precedent.
Right.
I just want to.
You got
Keep
those
the
words
words.
back.
Yeah, keep the
words
words.
back.
New president.
There we
I
go.
just want a boring
Don't ask that.
president. I want a boring 62-year-old president.
Right.
You
No,
hear about
younger.
once a week. And It's
Yeah.
not even because he's talking to anybody. And
Just because they wore the wrong color suit.
there's no one in the Oval Office with a chainsaw and sunglasses on. There's just fucking.
None of this performative
High on
politics shit.
ketamine.
Yeah. All right,
Elon
we're
Musk.
going to do another list today. We're going to do the top 5. We'll start with the 3 camera sitcoms. Is that cool? All right. Hold on. Tommy's got to wake up. She's got something. We got
She has something.
Tommy Broad.
Oh!
How'd you get it? Who stole it?
Well.
Did you steal it back?
Yes.
What
Well, no.
Okay, tell us
No.
the story.
Well, I can't. Pans actually needs to tell a story.
Great, this is gonna be awesome. Packed to the gills with marijuana when this moment happened. The Booger Boys, one Booger Boy, Travis, brought it out to Tied Down in Detroit and presented it with us while we were all hanging out.
Oh, okay. So they originally stole it on the night that we won the award.
Yes.
And then
What is it?
it's the
Our
Cleveland
award.
Comedy Award.
Best podcast.
Best podcast.
Oh,
And so then
You weren't there, remember?
I tasked
I was not.
a few different people that were supposed to be guests on the podcast to steal it back. Like Sarah Volpio was supposed to steal it back, but she got caught. And then I think I asked Cam too, but she had to cancel. And then so he just brought it out. And
That's
Well,
very funny.
yeah.
Sarah got caught.
He brought it out
Yeah.
to him. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she did not do it in a
The-
subtle way at all.
Yeah, I mean, I can
yes, because one thing you associate with Sarah Volpio.
subtlety.
Subtlety.
I was in bed.
She's like, I'm stealing this. I'm hot. I'm stealing this. You can't stop me.
Because I want to take the award.
I was in bed and my door opened and he has a flashlight on, thinking it's his camera, while Travis is giving it to me while I'm sleeping and thinking
I'm
that he
high
was
out of my
recording
mind,
it.
and I thought I was videotaping the whole thing.
You're so stupid.
Dude, it was like the worst episode
Showing
of...
your age.
Yeah, man. Dude, it was the worst episode of Cops you've ever seen, where it's just like you saw like Tommy's like.
I was so dazed. I'm like, what? And then Travis goes, he's like, are you sleeping with a bag of chips? And I'm like, yes, I am.
That is kind of the Tommy move. Yeah.
He's like, you have one on your chest. And I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll get it later.
What a weekend that was.
That was a good time.
a good
But yeah,
time.
we got it
got it
back. It's
back.
so pretty.
And I thought for
awesome.
sure someone was gonna, nothing against Travis. I thought that thing be chipped or broken by now.
Right?
It's seen a lot of transit, is what I'm saying.
It has. It's been in motion.
This one looks cool. I guess it's all of ours.
Yeah.
The one I won is so ugly. It looks like a giant dick.
Yeah, I have one like
dick?
that.
I mean, they all look either phallic or vaginal. This one
Yeah.
definitely looks more
this is true.
Yeah,
vaginal.
I'm more for the vaginal ones. I have
No, you
I
can
have
see the
one
dick
from
inside too, though.
Best Comedy
that
Album.
looks like a load.
Yeah.
It looks like
Like
cream.
2019 or
Like
2018.
They knew what they were doing in that one.
And it looks like a wiener. Yeah. Looks what?
Who are you up against?
I don't remember. It was like nobody. I don't know. It was, I don't remember. But it was. I won. All right, let's talk. Oh, you know what? I just won roast battle. I've never done like an official roast battle league roast
Nice.
battle. And I went up against Raj Suresh, who's a good friend of mine, and that's the only reason I did it because it's like, hey, he's my buddy, so I'll have fun with this. And Pants and Jimmy were there, and how'd I do, guys?
Great.
Yeah.
Wire to wire. That was.
Good.
I mean, I walked in halfway through, so I think I saw 3 of the battles.
Yeah.
The 2 before you,
Same.
they were decent, and then yours and Raj was like fucking body blow after body blow. It was very, very fun to watch.
Yeah, well,
I
we
never,
both-
and that was my first time watching one.
Yeah.
How do
Which is
people
weird to
get
say.
matched up? Is it-
They have like a whole thing,
A
but like
system.
for this one, it's just like Raj was in town, so they hit him up and they're like, "Who would you want to battle?" And he said, "Bill," and I'm
Gotcha.
like, "Okay, yeah,
Hell yeah.
absolutely."
Hell yeah.
I
I'll
think
do
you'd
it
be
for
the
that.
only one that could battle him, because you're. Anybody
I-
else that like does it?
I know him
frequently
really
doesn't
well.
Really know him that well.
Yeah, I know him really well, and like we also like we're both like touring, headlining comedians, so it like makes sense to do that. But it was really fun. My favorite joke that I told was. If you don't know Raj, he's an Indian guy, and I had 2 that I really liked. The first one I really liked was this one got a big boo from a lady. I said, Raj loves coffee, but he only drinks it hot because he's afraid of ice. And that got a
What'd you
little
get?
controversial.
Bill? Would you get like a Bill?
Yeah, she goes, she's like, boo. I'm like, don't boo just because I said ice. Like, appreciate it for the joke that it was, because
Right.
that's what we're here for.
Also, they're doing a very important job, and they're putting their lives on the line to clean this country up. Sorry. No,
And
it's a
then-
roast battle. You're supposed, like, literally, your job is to try to say the worst things you can say to your friend comedically.
Right.
So,
And then the other
and that
one.
was a very benign. By the way, that was not a
Yeah.
very.
Right, that's just,
That's
it's
like a
just a funny
whatever
joke.
joke.
It's just like it got a good pop. And then the other one that I really loved was Raj's pronouns are "thank you, come again."
Yes.
got a huge
See,
laugh.
I thought
I thought
that
that
one
one
was
was
way worse.
Yes,
than the ice
that's
joke.
way worse. Yes.
But
Which
that
I
got a
don't-
huge laugh.
Yeah, dude, I thought
It's the voice.
It's a very good. Yeah, You
That's
didn't
what makes
really,
it worse.
You didn't lean too hard into the voice, but like, yeah, that
I
joke.
did enough of the voice to sell it, and that's
But but also that to me, like, also like, I don't care what's offensive at that because it's a roast battle. But it's like, I thought if you're gonna pick one to be offended by,
That
That's
would be
the
the
one.
one,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they made a whole documentary about Apu.
Maybe she
mean-
was an Ice fan.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
oh,
I don't think so. I don't think
yeah,
so
the
that-
gentrified craft brewery. I don't think that's.
So that was fun. It was fun to be a part of that. And I don't think I'll ever do it again.
Angela
Like,
won
it's
the
cool.
gauntlet that night too.
It's really cool. Oh yeah, and Angelo did the gauntlet over at Imposters Theater, where that's a cool thing where they have to do like a sketch and then like an improv scene and then like 3 minutes of stand up
And
and
a
they're
character, right?
well, the character's like within their sketch or something.
Oh, okay.
But it's
Yeah.
it's a cool concept, and I wanted to do it, but I just couldn't be around for like the next rounds.
Yeah. Next
So-
time, however, I don't know how it does. You
yeah.
should like,
'Cause
dude,
it's
that was like
long.
so fun to watch.
No, and so like even if we're not in it, just go watch. They do a lot of really fun events over at Imposters.
Everything I've seen there was
It's
like
fun.
so
and
fun.
it's such a good room.
I do like
to
that
like
room.
watch comedy, and eventually they'll have an air conditioner that works properly.
It wasn't uncomfortable or anything.
Well, because it was cold
Yeah.
this weekend. So
Yeah,
that's-
okay.
yeah.
I like
Yeah,
how
I
they
mean-
used to do the gauntlet. Do you remember when they were at the other place and they would do the gauntlet and it'd be like, you would do it for a month and then you would get up and people would just yell out suggestions, like words, and then you just had to riff, stand up.
Oh,
using those
okay.
words
No, I
at
never
the-
saw that.
And then at the end of the month, you.
Oh
would
no, I
put-
do remember
They
that. I
did
did
I was gonna
that.
say you
I
did
did
it.
that. I
You
did that.
it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember watching you do it.
Yeah.
They
At the
asked-
end of the month, you put
Put it all together.
all
into a set.
together. Yeah, your favorite jokes from every set you did.
Oh yeah, that was fun. That was. I wonder what did I do jokes about? I don't remember.
I just remember floors.
Yeah.
So it was like floors, and you talked about like your dad owning like
Oh,
a
okay.
flooring
Yeah.
business.
Huh, interesting. Well, I've told a lot of jokes over the years. All right, let's get into this list. All right, we're going to start with the top. We're going to start number 1, work our way down to number 5. This is kind of just like a fantasy draft, too, in a way.
And
But
no
it's
duplicate picks.
No
like
duplicate
last week.
picks.
Right.
Like, but it's our top 5. 3 camera sitcoms, like live in studio audience and stuff like that. Who should start? I start
So you and then wrap around.
Yeah,
with
just
me.
1, 2, 3. Then
Are we gonna snake it back?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's the fair way to do
Okay.
it.
All right. So if we're starting me number 1 overall, 3 camera sitcom, I'm gonna go. Ooh. I'm gonna go Cheers right off the rip.
I
It's
mean,
just the best. It's
That
just
is
the
a good
best
one.
fucking show.
I just
I've
realized I
never
definitely don't have
seen
enough.
You never seen Cheers?
I was thinking about starting it. 'cause
Dude, you
everybody
should. It's a
says
really
that.
funny
it's
show.
a,
It's
that
good,
is a
yeah.
that is a, also I think it's a timeless. It's
Yeah.
a pretty timeless
Yeah,
show.
and
Michael Bush was telling me it's like, oh, it's a really good sitcom to watch for like a contained show.
Yeah.
They don't really like leave or. Have,
They-
like,
they-
other
I don't,
sets.
dude. I can't recall
Until,
any
like,
scenes
the
that take
later-
place outside of the bar.
They
There's,
do.
Like
They
a
have
few
them.
episodes and like the later.
Yeah, there's an episode where they like go to like a getaway house together, and then they do like there's a few like.
But also
outside.
that's-
But like I still.
That's also a
yeah,
classic
yeah.
live audience sitcom where it's literally on a set.
Right,
it's
yeah,
all
it's still
set
a
up.
set,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there's not one scene on like a real street.
I think the fact
I don't
that
think
it-
I don't think there's a scene that's actually outside. Like it's all in like
But it's
In the
all
bar.
in the bar. Like,
it's
Yeah.
all in the bar or in a house.
It's like the bar area or like Sam's office.
Sam's
next to
office, the
bar.
pool table area. like,
Right,
yeah,
right. But it's
yeah.
all. I think the fact that it's in a dark Boston bar.
Yeah, and they don't even
it's
go
so contained.
upstairs to the restaurant
Yeah,
ever.
you know-
Like that's my
I think
favorite.
when I was a kid, I go, "What's up?" I would always look at the stairs. I go, "What's up the stairs?"
Yeah.
Like, is there like, there's probably something wild happening up there, but that's the magic of TV in the '80s.
Yep.
So yeah. I think Jimmy. I think if just from a historical standpoint, you should
It's
check
it's a
out
great
Cheers.
show. It's and like it's real punchy and funny and just like and a lot of the jokes still hold up too. I mean, it's like a little corny because it is 40 years old now, but it's still good.
No,
the
yeah,
next
it's
show I'm
definitely
gonna
good.
watch
Yeah.
after I
You
finish
spend
the
enough time
current
at bars, you'll appreciate it.
All right, Tommy
Mine was Becker.
Becker.
Yeah.
Okay.
I fucking
Wow.
love
Wow.
Becker.
Wow.
I
We're going-
love
we're going-
Becker.
Somebody
We're going
didn't
Ted
have
Danson.
cable growing up.
Dude, I loved Becker.
I don't think
It's
I've ever
the
watched
chick
them.
from Saw. It's the girl from Saw. She's like his dissy
Oh, really?
receptionist. He's a mean
Who
dude.
watched Becker?
Listen, me and my answers might be weird. I wasn't super crazy.
That's
like,
why I wanted to do this.
They
'cause I
might
wanna
be. I
see
don't
this.
know.
No,
I
but
don't know.
love
They might
Becker.
not.
That is such a mood. Of all
Dude.
the sitcoms I just
Ted
brainstormed
Danson,
and
yeah.
researched,
Yeah.
Becker didn't even pop up. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That counts.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say it's a bad show. I just
I've
never
never
knew
seen it.
Yeah.
And I forgot it existed.
They
But
have,
it's
like,
also like,
both-
but also like this just goes to show you like how prolific Ted Danson's career
Yeah.
is, because the top two are Ted Danson
Danson,
shows,
yeah.
and he's been in like 8 or 9 other like really popular shows since then.
Yeah.
That's so fucking funny. I can't believe my pick got left on the table. I'm gonna go Seinfeld, obviously, which is almost
Were we
Danson
doing
and
live
Jason.
studio audience?
Yeah,
Yeah,
With Seinfeld?
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. So now Seinfeld had a lot of different sets. Like there was,
Yeah, they would move
went all
around
over the
more
place.
than anything.
Yeah, they were
yeah.
moving around New York all the
Yeah,
time.
but they were a live studio audience.
But the
yeah.
fact that Seinfeld is argued by many to be the greatest sitcom of all time is wild, because that show nearly got axed.
the
episodes
first
into their first
the
season.
first 2 seasons are so rocky on that show, and then season 3 they finally figured it out.
Yeah, and it's wild, but it is wild that it took flight the way that it did. And
Yeah,
it's-
but then when it took off, it took off.
I can't believe neither one of you picked that for the first pick.
You know, Cheers is. I like
think
Cheers more.
is-
That's fair.
I like
Yeah,
Cheers more
yeah.
than Seinfeld. But like Seinfeld's got. I mean, like that would have been my next pick.
In my mind, like the first thing, if you ask me the greatest sitcom of all time, live audience, it's Seinfeld. I don't even have to think about it.
That's
but-
your favorite?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would go. I still go Cheers over Seinfeld, just because like there's an unevenness to Seinfeld that, like the watchability for Cheers to me is higher. Like I'll rewatch any episode of Cheers. There's a lot of Seinfeld episodes that I'm like, this one.
I think
I'll
it's
skip.
apple. I mean, also I think it's an
It's
apples and oranges
absolutely.
thing, because it's two different vibes for sure.
Definitely
And-
different vibes, and also like these are also 2 incredibly funny, great shows.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I'm not.
You can.
Yeah.
It's like
Becker's out of nowhere.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. That's an awesome pick. That is a wildly.
I'm going with the greatest sitcom of all time, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
That's so good. I
Very
had to take that
nice.
one
That
off
was
my
on my
list.
list.
Very
yeah.
nice.
That was
That
on my
is-
list.
Very
Probably
nice.
my number one sitcom. Like you said, you can watch any
Yeah.
episode of Cheers.
Yeah.
Like, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like anytime like I go on like vacation with
Yeah.
like my group of friends, we'll go to like Put Bay or get a house somewhere.
Uh-huh.
At the end of the night, we just end up just smoking weed, watching Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
It's not a bad way to
It's
end the
so
night.
good. It's
And
so good.
also,
so fucking good.
like that's like you want to talk about how I know about issues that I wouldn't have known about otherwise. It's because of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah,
like,
literally, yeah.
Like they have a lot of episodes where they kind of spell out how black people are mistreated in a very like well done, kind of simple way, and be like, hey, white people watching this, this is what is happening to us.
It's not even,
and I'm like, that's happening to Will Smith, but he's Will Smith. And it's like
it happens to Will Smith too.
Yeah.
And
It's
you know,
also-
Smith, too.
They talk
Also-
about like issues of like. There's like a really good episode where it's like, oh, Carl doesn't get into the frat because he's like he acts too white.
Yeah.
And Uncle Phil just goes, he just kind of does this monologue about being like, oh, like black people aren't allowed to be like successful. and,
Yeah.
like, it's-
No, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it plays both
Great.
sides of it
Yeah,
too. It's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
It's
So-
not. It's not just like that. The one point of view. It plays both point of views very well, and it's also very good at doing like the episode where Carlton gets profiled by the police and they
Yeah.
get put in jail, and like
Yes.
like that like blew Carlton's mind. He's like, oh, I'm rich. What are you
Will's
doing?
just being like,
Yeah.
it's 'cause you're
I
black,
plead
though."
the fifth.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
He's like, we want a lawyer. Like,
yeah.
That show also wasn't afraid to go straight theatrical with that one Ben Vereen episode when like Will does his monologue at the end about how his dad walked out.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's maybe the
Made
deepest,
him, like-
the
Yeah.
heaviest moment in
Yeah.
sitcom history.
Yeah.
Well,
oh, yeah.
between like Will having those moments, Carlton had some good moments like that, and then James Avery,
Oh, yeah.
the
Yes.
fucking goat.
Man,
like
dude.
he might be my number one TV dad
Oh, yeah.
because he was so fucking good on that show because he could play for laughs. He was like big guy with hot wife, like loved that always.
He was a
And
giant physically, like he's
giant
massive.
physically, and then just could like turn on that stern or like empowered mode that he needed to go into.
He has
was
to be
just
a-
so fucking good.
He's got to be a classically trained actor.
yeah, and he
Like-
also is a
Shredder.
he's Shredder. Yeah, Shredder in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh,
And then
hell yeah.
I just saw another one that he did. But he's got a very prolific voice acting career too. Yeah.
All right, but more important, Are you a fan of the first or the second Aunt Viv?
Ooh.
First.
First.
Yeah.
Yeah, they also break the fourth wall a lot.
Yeah.
That cracked me up. Like, he goes, it's like one of my favorite jokes. He's just like, what? He's like, we're so broke, we can't even afford a roof on the house.
And they like
pan
pan
up
up.
like the stage.
Oh yeah. He's like, if we're so rich, how come we don't got no ceiling? And they pan up to the lights.
And then when they switch Aunt Viv,
Yeah.
Jazzy Jeff comes in and he's like, you look different. And it's the only time they like bring it up.
Yeah.
Little Easter egg. Also, Jazz getting kicked out of the house.
Great
That one
running bit.
recycled clip that he just gets.
Yeah. You know it because he's wearing the same shirt.
Yeah.
So you know it's coming.
Ah!
What is always wearing? All right, what's your next one? Your
Number two.
number two.
Two?
Yep.
Yeah, you go because we're thinking back.
You're
I'm
right.
gonna go. I loved this show as a kid on Nick at Night.
Yeah.
Alf.
Alf. Okay.
Oh
Yeah, it's a
shit!
good call.
Okay, I didn't even
That's a
think
good
about that
wow,
one.
that's a more surprising pick than Becker,
Thank you.
in my opinion.
Dude, you guys weren't Alf fans?
I
in the
loved Alf,
80s?
but
Big Alf
does it
fan.
count? What is he? Is it rooted in reality?
Yeah, I mean it's in front of a studio audience.
I feel like it does.
Yeah.
no,
like-
it has to. As long as it was a studio audience.
That's all it has to be.
Yeah.
That's all it has
it's
to be.
a
Okay.
sitcom.
Yeah,
Okay.
camera studio audience.
He's an alien life form.
I know, but I feel like
Achmonics.
Alien. Is
I just remember the
weird.
neighbors were called the Achmonics, which I always thought was very odd. From the planet Melmac.
Yeah.
I never saw it.
I had
No, it's a fun show.
McDonald's gave away when they were merchandising everything. They gave away free 7 inches, which with Alf basically singing like Bruce Springsteen on it. And I remember because the 7-inch was cut like a square.
I remember that. I had that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was called the Melmac Rock, and I played the shit out of that thing.
Do you know the story of the dad that played Willie?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he ended up getting really into drugs, and like there's a video of him
Smoking crack.
smoking
He loved
crack,
crack.
and blowing
Jeez.
dudes and shit like that. Like
Loved
crazy
crack.
stuff.
Somebody shared that the
Yeah.
other day, like on their story, and I didn't look into it.
Willie!
But I was like, I can't tell if this is like
That's
an
a good
Onion
Alf.
article or like a Hard Times article, or it's true. Like he got real addicted to crack.
Yeah, he got really into crack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
People
Pam.
love that stuff that get into it.
Pam, you're next.
That's what I hear. This is tough because I got number 2 here. I'm gonna go Married with Children.
Oh, that's a good one.
that was my next one.
I mean, because at the age I'm at, I was like watching. I go, why does everything bad happen to Al Bundy? Like, and then I realized that was the point of the show. Was it was like subversive and it was kind of like punk rock, like a punk rock sitcom. And then I was like, also, yeah, it flew in the face of everything else that was going on at the time, and I also
And Peg Bundy, top mom. She might be.
hell yeah,
Like
hell yeah.
just for the hotness.
Look, Peg Bundy and then Kelly Bundy.
Christina
You got it from
Applegate,
both sides.
number one
Yeah.
TV daughter.
Also, Pam Anderson did a cameo there before she was Pam Anderson. No Ma'am meetings, big. That was big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
So,
were
yeah.
not afraid to put some cleavage on the TVs.
Fuck yeah.
That was yeah. It was.
I
I just
respect
remember.
that.
I just remember because I was approaching the age where I was like, I go, why does no, that there has to be a happy ending to these shows, and I never had them. And I go, oh, that's a life lesson. Oh, that's okay. Anyways, that's my pick.
I saw a clip from the other day, and I fucking was dying, but I can't remember what it was. All right, Thomas.
2.5 Men.
2.5 Men.
I
Wow.
loved that.
My dad would love you for that. Happy
I-
Father's Day, by the way.
Again, another one that I never really watched
Really?
an episode
The
of. no.
first couple seasons are funny.
Dude, I loved it. Yeah.
And it's before Charlie Sheen was like
Yeah.
a notorious like
Psycho,
asshole.
yeah.
Like,
But he also played
He had
he was supposed to be the
likability
bad
still.
boy
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
two
The-
people.
yes.
I know the
The 2.5
premise of everything,
Men.
and like I get why it was on for as long as it was.
Yeah.
But yeah.
like the kids actually like funny.
Yeah.
in it.
All right, I got 2.
My dad calls it the Men. He just calls
The
the
Men
show
show.
the Men.
Oh, the Men.
He goes, "Do you watch?" He asks me every month for the last 15 years. He goes, "Do you watch the Men?" And I go, "No, I don't."
I think he's like a real fan. Like people
Yeah,
that
it's like it's
Dave
called Dave.
Matthews
Yeah,
Band, they call it
real fans
Dave.
call him Dave. Yeah.
Yeah,
You watching the Men tonight?
he's a real men head.
All right, so going from those are all off the board. I'm gonna go. My number 2 is. All right, I got 3 that I want to choose from. I'm gonna go with That 70s Show.
That's a good one. That was
I
on
love
my
that
list.
show.
Problematic, but
It's
good
problematic, but it's still fucking funny as fuck. It's, but
it's
what's
still
a
holds
bummer
up.
about all these shows though is like when characters leave and it like doesn't get to end on a strong note because like that 70 show was so good, but then like the last 2 seasons when everybody was gone sucked.
Stupid Spider-Man 3 fucked it up.
Yeah,
He had
yeah.
to leave because he was Venom.
Yeah.
The worst casting for Venom.
Venom, yeah, ever.
I mean, that whole movie was a fever dream, but let's not jump off topic here.
But yeah, that was. Oh, I get to go back to back. All right, this works good.
Yeah.
All right.
Damn it.
All right, yeah, that 70 show though, like those first like 3-4 seasons are funny as fuck, and they're like there's some good drama in it. There's some like it's just a lot of fun.
Wilmer
It's silly.
Valderrama.
Yeah.
Just an opportunity
I
to
mean,
say
the whole-
Wilmer Valderrama.
Oh yeah, I keep trying to say his name.
I'm going to nail it. Wilmer Valderrama.
There you
Okay,
go.
got it. Third try.
I
Anyways.
think it's Vilmer. No.
God damn it.
All right, next.
Number
I'm
3?
gonna go number 3. My number 3,
Yeah.
Frasier.
Okay. I've only seen a few episodes.
Man, you got
but
Cheers.
those, yeah.
You got
Cheers
Cheers
and
and
Frasier.
Frasier.
Yeah, got
That's
him.
like getting the
Motherfucker.
quarterback and the running back
Yeah,
you
I
want.
know.
Yeah.
I know.
I never saw an episode of Frasier. but
Frasier's fucking great.
When I was
dude.
a kid, I was just like, oh, that's what grown-ups watch.
It is.
Right,
You
yes.
just grow up and you can't watch cartoons anymore.
So you have to
You're
watch
only
Frasier.
You have to watch
Frasier?
Frasier.
But like, so I'd watch Frasier as a kid because I thought, like Frasier, I was like, I didn't care about his scenes, but his brother, what's the guy that plays
Niles.
Niles?
Niles, yes.
David Hyde Pierce
Yes.
is so fucking good on that show. So like, as far as comedic actors like doing physical comedy, David Hyde Pierce, his physical comedy in that show is as good as it gets. Like because it's never like super over the top. It's how somebody could actually act, but he does enough exaggeration to make it incredibly funny.
yeah,
And
he's so good they casted him on The Simpsons as Sideshow Bob's
brother. Yeah, that was
'Cause that's
good.
voiced by Kelsey Grammer.
Yep. So that's
Yeah, he's the best on a show that had no weak links performance-wise either.
right. Yeah, David Hyde Pierce.
The dad
is
was
just-
great on that show. Daphne was
The
great.
dad was fantastic. Daphne's great.
Fine-ass Daphne.
Roz was great. Even the ancillary characters that worked in the radio station were good. The sports guy that just was like a super sexist dude was fucking hilarious. It's a great show. I recommend. Cheers. Do Cheers first, and then do Frasier after that.
Yeah.
Which has more like
Is it
episodes.
Frasier on Cheers?
Yeah, Frasier's on Cheers.
Yes.
I think
Frasier Crane.
I think Frasier might beat it out by like a few. I think they're both on for like 9 or 10 seasons.
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
Like they're around the same amount of episodes. And then don't worry too. Like the Frasier reboot is okay, but it's not like.
There was a
It's not
reboot?
must-see
I didn't
watching.
even know that. Jeez.
All right, Thomas.
Will and Grace.
Will and Grace.
Yeah.
There's so
Wow,
many.
you are
like,
quite
I
a
love
TV
gays. I
watcher.
love
Yeah.
Dude, that's, I mean,
You
like,
are a heritage TV watcher.
Yeah, you watched.
my mom and I watch.
Yes,
Yes,
that's what I'm
these
saying.
are
These
very
are all
much
very
mother-daughter.
influenced by mother-daughter
These are
stuff.
mother-daughter shows that we
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
together. Absolutely, yes.
Very
The only,
nice.
the only show I really
love
watched
the
with my
gays.
parents was we watched Home Improvement. That was like
Okay.
our family show.
Yeah.
That we'd all watch that.
Yeah.
But that one fell off real fast.
Yeah.
'Cause God, stupid. All right, pants and the Cosby Show.
I can't believe all my picks keep falling to me. Roseanne.
Okay.
That was my of the 3 I had. I had Roseanne, Frasier, and That 70 Show.
Yeah, I can't believe Roseanne fell to me at 3. What needs to be said about Roseanne? I mean, like, especially if you grew up in like the 90s, like.
Yeah, John Goodman was the fucking goat.
Yeah, and Roseanne was fucking great on
She's
the show
hilarious,
before
too.
she lost her goddamn
And
Yeah.
yeah, no, like the original run of Roseanne was fucking fantastic.
Yep.
It was a really great
Yep, and,
show.
like, all
the
the-
Halloween
even-
episodes are fucking awesome.
Even the kids, like,
Yeah.
and they like DJ, like all the kids just fucking were like nailed their performances. Both Beckys,
Yeah,
both
both
Beckys
Beckys,
were
yeah.
good. They had 2 Beckys.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite Becky?
Sarah Chalk. I actually like the
Wow,
second
Becky
one. Yeah.
too. Okay.
Becky too. I thought was better, and she's gone on to have a more prolific career because she was on what's the I don't even. She's on other shows. I don't want to say
Scrubs?
it. Scrubs and
Oh, sorry.
yeah.
Am I blowing it?
Oh,
All right, now, and fucking Darlene, of course, maybe one of the greatest child characters. Can we call her a child? Yeah, she's a teenager. So one of the great. She
It's like
walked so
a
Daria could run.
Little
Yeah.
kid when it started, right?
Yeah, she was pretty young.
like
yeah.
She was like the alpha
yeah,
moody
she was like 11
teenager.
or 12 when it started. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Sarah
a
Gilbert.
fan.
No,
Not a fan of Roseanne.
no, oh, really? No.
There's too much yelling and
You
fighting.
don't like
She
loose
does have a
meat
mean
sandwiches?
voice.
And then when you
Live in that. You're
kind
like,
of
I don't need
a
this on
white
TV.
trash.
Yeah.
Your white trash
That
house.
was that was the thing because I grew up in South
TV
Euclid.
doesn't
Yeah.
become an escape anymore.
No, but Roseanne was literally like growing up in South Euclid, where there was the episode where Becky got yelled at, got rudely talked to by her boss. So then Dan went down to beat his ass, and he'd already gotten beaten up by Becky's boyfriend at the time, who Dan hated her boyfriend, and then they both bonded over that moment. I'm like, this is the most like old school
That
east
clip-
side of Cleveland
that clip,
suburbs.
It pops up all the time, and
Yeah.
John Goodman is hilarious. He's like, I don't know. Maybe I wanted to hit. He's very funny. John Goodman rocks.
Dude,
Yeah.
John Goodman. I don't know why every time people talk about John Goodman, it's like a revelation how good of an actor he is.
Yeah.
But he has been excellent in
Consistently,
every
yeah.
single thing he's done.
Dude, even movies that didn't pop he's still great in. Like King Ralph.
Yes.
Turn on King Ralph. You're gonna have a good time watching it. It's a dog shit movie, but John Goodman's great, so you're gonna like have a good time.
'Cause he shows
When
up
he
and
played
he's
Babe
like-
Ruth. I fucking love him as Babe Ruth.
He is Americana, man. He is
Yeah.
a slice of
The
Midwestern
first
Americana.
Flintstones movie.
He
Yeah.
hated being in that movie, by the way.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, he did not want
Oh.
to do that.
I'm sure he was compensated handsomely for
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And
But it's
and then
Walter-
they offered him a bag, like a fucking like crazy amount for the sequel, and he's like, "I'm never doing this shit again. Like this is."
And then he got to be Walter Sobchak.
Yeah.
So, but yes, so that's my number 3. Jimothy?
I'm gonna bring up something you said a minute ago because this is why this is my third. Where are we on?
3.
Yeah, you're on 3.
Because we watched it as a family in the '90s. Home Improvement.
Home Improvement.
Okay.
That was that was like the family show.
Yeah,
that everybody watched.
Dude, one of the funniest things that ever happened because of Home Improvement was, if you've ever seen the documentary Too Funny to Fail,
Yeah.
do you know about this scene?
Yeah,
So there's a scene in this documentary where they're talking about the Dana Carvey show, and they're talking about, and they play this promo for, so the Dana Carvey show was struggling, and so they sold advertising to be the advertiser in the name. So each week it'd have a different name because there'd be a different advertiser. And so like one would be like the Diet Mug Root Beer Dana Carvey show. So they're showing this really like sensitive clip about how Randy might have cancer and he's like, I don't want to die, Dad. And Tim Allen's like, nothing's gonna happen to you, son. We're gonna face this together. And it's like a very special Home Improvement followed by the Diet Mug Root Beer show, or the Diet Mug Root Beer Dana Carvey show. And
It just undercuts
Yeah,
all of like the
emotion.
Yeah, it's so
It's so
fucking
funny.
good. And like watching Steve Carell react to that is like my favorite.
Did you
thing.
watch the Dana Carvey show when it
Yeah.
was on?
Oh yeah, I was pumped for that show.
'Cause I didn't like. I didn't. I'm like too young for
Yeah,
it.
no, I watched it.
But I watched that documentary, and then you see like all of the talent that was on that show. and it's
Crazy
like,
talent.
How did it fail?
Yeah.
It had like Steve
because it was
Carell.
on such a weird. It was such a weird show.
Yeah,
pushing the limits after Home Improvement.
Right.
Like my parents didn't want to watch that show, but I was like, this is wild.
hilarious.
Yeah. I was like,
Dana
yeah.
Carvey when he was at his height.
Yeah.
Louis C.K. is the head writer.
Yeah.
Stephen Colbert, Steve Carell.
Robert Smigel, right? I think he
Yeah,
was on it, yeah.
Dino Cosmopoulos.
Yeah, from
who's
Community. Yeah.
Starburns on
Yeah.
Community and the creator of Moral World. I don't know. Home Improvement ripped.
Yeah.
I always
no,
like.
I mean, Home Improvement definitely had like the dynamic between Tim and Al was fucking great. Big fan of Al Borland. What was
I liked the neighbor.
Oh yeah,
Wilson.
The
His
Neighbor's great.
face
Wilson,
until
yeah.
the last episode.
Yeah.
I don't think so, Tim.
Oh, they actually showed his face eventually.
The last episode,
Oh.
they're having a wedding in
Yeah.
Jim's backyard, and the neighbor's like, "Oh, well, you guys need some room?
Yeah.
Why don't we just tear down this fence?
Oh.
Unite our backyards." And it's like the last scene. They
Yeah.
tear down the fence, and you see his face, and then it like does like
Yeah.
the
Didn't
upshot.
like the oldest son like hit a growth spurt and now he's like 6'8", like he's like a giant now.
So the oldest
Yeah,
son
he got a DUI.
That also
he's got
caught, like,
DUI and a bunch of,
DV
like,
charges.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
bunch of, yeah. He's-
That's crazy. A child actor grew up to be.
Not doing
And then like
Right.
the
to be
youngest,
not
like
great.
he like completely like walked away from Hollywood and it's just like
What
I don't
happened to
wanna
Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
keep- He just like living his life, just
he
like
was
whatever.
supposed to be a star.
Yeah.
He was-
Like,
yeah,
he
he was-
got fucking burnt out by like they ran him through, man. They fucked him over. They fucked him over hard. Yeah.
Which way?
Both up
Probably
and down.
both
Yeah.
ways. Probably both ways.
All
Probably
right.
both ways.
What's number 4?
You're up, Jimmy.
4, you mean?
Oh no, I have to go back to back.
Yeah.
Number
Oh,
4.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, I had one and now I forget. Hopefully it'll come back to me in a sec. I'm gonna say just because I really liked the theme song as a kid, and it was just a fun show. The Facts of Life.
Facts of Life. Okay.
Tootie.
What was that? I mean,
time to live, a time to love.
I need to
Mrs.
look this up.
Garrett, dude.
The facts of life.
Girls. Girls.
Oh, it's like if I close my eyes, it's Miss Garrett's right there.
I'm coming for you, Noah Bakari, with my impression.
Noah Ryan.
Garrett.
I don't think I ever saw it.
Yeah, I feel like that one.
Jimmy does his prized Mrs. Garrett impression in 2025.
That's relevant.
Yeah. Oh, no. Like as we're doing this, like I keep thinking about like different shows. Like I want to give like honorable mentions to, but like I'm not super familiar with.
Yeah.
But like that, like you bringing up that show unlocked like Charles in Charge and like Bob Newhart and shit like
might
that.
have to-
Like I
might
love,
have
but
to
I don't
dig
have
into these
enough.
Yeah, you might have to dig into these.
memory of
the-
them to like put them in my top
Facts.
5.
Charles in
Facts of
Charge, I
life.
ate Charles in Charge the fuck up.
Yeah.
Me and fucking Buddy Lembeck, man. Sorry.
Yeah.
This is Jimmy's moment.
no,
Please
I
come
was
up.
gonna say-
Please switch your whole routine to just doing obscure impressions of 80s,
Of 80s
sitcom
sitcoms.
stars.
Girls.
Just
I
do
can
Dana
that.
Plato from Different Strokes.
Yeah, I can do Fuzzy Bear from Starsky and Hutch.
Let's hear it. Yep.
I don't think I could do it. You got to give me a moment.
All right. When you're ready, just do it. All right, Pants. What's your number 4?
Oh man. Oh, okay. God, there's still. I thought there would be like way less good ones left, but there's a ton.
I know.
So-
but it's also that's the fun of it because we're like all of our tastes are pretty different.
Yeah.
Like we all like some of the same stuff, but like yeah, we have different lists.
I'm gonna have to go with Martin if I
Oh yes, Martin was good. Yes, that was good.
because yeah, sorry man. I'll say
Martin's the fucking.
I'll
he's
say
so
where I
good.
wanted to go with it after we all pick our shit, but
Yeah.
no, Martin was right there. If I think about shows that I watched to death at when I was a kid, Martin was right up there. Whenever Bro Man showed up through the window, I'd lose my fucking mind.
Yeah.
And that's a classic. That might be that feels like a good number for me.
Fuck yeah.
That's a good one. And so now I'm like torn now because I want to go like, all right, do I want to go something that's more like my childhood or something that like I would still watch? So yeah.
Yeah.
But Martin was definitely like both. Like
Well,
watch it as a kid, but like if I see Martin on or like I'll just turn on episodes from time to time and just laugh my ass off and like the characters he'd do and shit were just so fucking
Dragonfly
stupid.
Jones.
Yeah.
I think my like for the amount of like attention that I have to summon to like try a new show at
Yeah.
45 years old, as opposed to like when you had to watch TV when you were 13 years old. It's like I'm just leaning on stuff that I actually watched a ton when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So yep, shouts to Martin.
Fuck yeah. I'm gonna go with The Nanny.
The
Nanny. Yeah.
You are a CBS watcher.
Yeah.
Damn, that was another family show for me.
You are Team CBS. Wait, it's The Nanny.
2.5 Men.
2.5
I don't know.
Becker.
No, that wasn't.
No, 2.5 Men CBS.
Yeah.
Is it?
Becker CBS.
Becker
the only one that's
CBS.
not is Will and Grace. That was.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
CBS funny. America's Network.
See, we were less. We were.
She was so hot.
We were more NBC. We were,
She still
See,
is,
yeah.
but
Vivid Video put out a porn parody of The Nanny called The Fanny, and it was hard to say which one.
You watch more.
jerked off to.
I watch more.
Fran Drescher, though.
Beautiful.
Dude,
Beautiful.
all timer.
So
And also,
hot.
like, yes, and also,
Still kind of hot.
Yes.
Yeah.
She. Yes.
but
I would
also
agree. I don't
an
know.
all-time great character and all-time great actress, and yes, also was part of my formative years, shall we say?
Yeah. Going.
Yeah, she still looks fucking great.
Going.
Oh,
like,
it was
this,
Wi-
this
I think it
isn't
was
a pick
Wicked
for me,
Pictures, not Vivid,
But
sorry.
I just was reminded of this show because of he brought up the Fanny, and you did Married with Children.
He did.
Oh, you did Married with Children. Remember the WB or UPN version of it, Unhappily Ever After?
Oh, yeah. You don't even need to say it, bro.
Dude,
Nikki Cox.
Nikki Cox, man. That was the only reason to watch that show. But goddamn, she was so fucking hot on that show.
Yeah, dude,
Like, she was so hot on that show that like I could just like if there was an episode on, I would just like turn it on with my like antenna TV in my room and just be like, I can beat off to this. This is great.
That was like, honestly, that was that phase of the '90s, where, like before the internet was a thing, where I'm just like, I go, it's crazy that women are this hot and I can see them this much.
Yeah.
Like I just remember, like, how am I allowed to watch this right now?
Nikki
Dude, she
Cox.
was crazy.
So hot.
All
All right, my turn.
Back
Number
on
4.
back on track. Yep.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna go to. I think this is the first entry from TGIF,
Ooh.
Ooh.
and I'm gonna go with Boy Meets World.
Ah, you
Damn it,
stole
that was
mine.
my last two.
You stole mine.
Boy Meets World.
That
Right,
one's
right
so
from
good.
Nikki Cox to Topanga with you, man.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, also fucking
God,
hot.
that was literally my next one.
Dude.
I love Boy Meets World. And
Mr. Feeney.
Oh, it's so cute.
me and my girlfriend were watching some episodes the other day, and it's just like, first of all, you forget how fucking long that show was on.
Yeah, did they go from like middle school to college?
Yeah, like all the way through college, basically.
Yeah, like-
And then like those, in some of those like high school years, they're just like, they were just so desperate for plot. So like there's one where they basically turn Mr. Feeney's house into a bed and breakfast for a day, or like a night, and it's Sean doing homework basically, but it's so fucking silly and fun, and I just yeah.
The one where they fight Vader.
Yeah.
And
he's Ethan
bullies-
Suplee's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you know who
Adam Scott.
Adam Scott? Yeah, Adam
Yeah,
Scott
he's-
is on that show. Yeah.
He
Was
was
he?
the new leader of the bullies.
Yeah.
After the one bully like left the
Left the show, yeah.
leaves the show, and then they come back and they like.
That's just one show I routinely opted out of. Like I never.
you
just
missed
You
some-
might
for
have been
some
just like
reason
a
it got
little
past-
too old for it.
I think I just for some reason it got past me.
Dude, there was a point where there was that show on, and then there was another show that would be after it, and it was called Teen Angel. That was
Teen Angel.
Dude, it was like the premise of the show was this this kid's best friend died because he ate an old hamburger, and he came back and he was his friend's guardian angel, and then he would just like help him get through like different adventures.
When
each
you-
week.
when you-
and it was so fucking funny.
Like think about
Like funny because it's horrible.
No, it was like a fucking great because it was written by Mel Brooks from The Simpsons. It was like one of his
Really?
like spin-off
Do you
shows.
mean not Mel Brooks?
Not Mel Brooks.
Mel Gibson.
Mel,
No.
I know. Fuck, I should know. I know.
Was it? It wasn't
David
Mel
Brooks.
David Brooks. Was that it?
I think.
I don't know.
I'm gonna get it wrong.
It was a Simpsons writer that
Yeah.
was the producer.
When
and,
the Simpsons were still funny.
Yeah, and it was like this absurdist humor. It was kind of dark because there's a dead kid as a main character, and it was fucking hilarious. But it just did not last.
Al Jean and Mike Reeves.
There it was Al
Those were
Jean.
the
Al
Simpsons,
Jean was the guy.
Al
Yeah,
Jean.
yeah. Al Jean, Mike Reeves. Yeah. So those were the like. It was. I love that.
I always thought like you hear jokes, like people make jokes about that show on like other shows. It's like coming up next, it's Teen. I didn't think that was like a real show.
No, it's a real
because of,
show.
like the name,
Dude,
like,
and it was fucking
Teen
great.
Angel.
Teen Angel, yeah. And it was like, but it was like so silly and goofy that like they could get away with it for a few, but it obviously didn't last. All right, number 5. All right, number 5. I'm gonna go. This is a probably gonna be a controversial pick, but overall, I love this show, and I didn't watch it till it had like finished its run, but I loved How I Met Your Mother.
I
Can't get into it.
It was just like I love Jason Segel. I
And
love
people
Neil Patrick
Yes.
love
Harris,
that show, dude.
and it was just like it that show started at a time where like the internet was kind of becoming a thing. So like it feels like episodes were memes coming to life as an episode.
yeah.
Before memes were like really a thing, and so I think now it went on way too
Yes,
long, and
yeah.
it was like it could have been
The
a much
ending
better show.
Makes zero sense.
The ending's dumb, but
Because
like
the main
Yeah.
character is like a terrible person.
yeah,
Yes, yeah.
But
Like
who cares?
his
that's
wife dies.
Yeah.
And then he goes and gets together with his best friend's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
ex-wife.
Yeah.
because he falls in love with Robin. It was Robin all along.
Right? Yeah. No.
yeah. Yeah.
It ended. They hit a wall and they didn't know.
Yeah,
what
they
to
didn't know what
do.
they were doing.
They were like, we didn't think it was going to go on for
But
this
that's
long.
right. That's the thing with
I hate when
half
shows
of the
do
run,
that.
like half the run would have been
you
good.
have to run. Like if they had done that show as like the way they do shows now, where it'd been like 10 episodes a season and done like 6 seasons or 5 seasons, it could have been
6
great.
seasons in a movie.
But they did like 11 or 10 seasons and like 250 episodes.
Right.
which
Well,
is,
then
like,
they
too
had
much.
this question that everybody wanted
Yeah.
to answer, and they were like, "Oh, we didn't."
Yeah.
think."
Yeah, we're
And-
not gonna answer it for you. So.
And they were like, because when you do a show, you're like, oh, it can either be a hit,
Yeah.
it can have like an okay run,
Yeah.
or it could be like a huge cultural phenomenon,
Yeah.
like How I Met Your Mother, where
Yeah.
like people are like,
Well,
who is the mother?
I think they had the ending all along because they had to shoot all those scenes with the kids.
Yeah, with the kids, they shot them in like 6 months.
Yeah, so they shot all those scenes with the kids. So like that was the ending all along. But then they had to just keep like,
Did you see the
Doing, like-
interview with like the son?
oh really? No.
He talks about how brutal it was shooting because they shot all of those scenes like,
Yeah.
around the couch, and
Yeah.
Bob Saget is like, "Hey kids, this
Yeah.
is how I met your mom." They shot it all at once, so it was like such hard filming.
Yeah,
Uh,
because they have to like change and then go back. It's. But I like that show. It's got enough funny shit. Marshall and what's his girlfriend? His wife's name?
Lily.
Lily, yeah,
From,
Marshall and Lily.
with the chick
yeah.
from Buffy and How
Yeah.
American Pie. Oh,
Yes,
she's so hot.
she's so
Alice
hot, and
Hannigan,
she's
yeah.
such a good
Yeah,
actress.
so that's my number 5.
Family Matters.
Ooh, okay. Another
Uncle
TGIF
Carl,
show.
Uncle Carl, maybe one of my
Nerd
favorite
turn
TV
hot
dads.
guy. Fuck yeah.
So I was
my shit.
I just saw an interview with Jaleel White where he was talking about how they loved Seinfeld on that show, and that he like his physicality came from Michael Richards' physicality.
Oh,
And
cool.
also his use of the N-word.
Did they like write him out because he became like too big and was like asking
No.
for too much money?
No, quite the opposite. They had to find a new mom on the show because like the mom was so furious that
Oh, everybody
Steve-
was bitter about Urkel.
No, specifically in an interview that Urkel gave, Jaleel White gave, I think on Stern, he said that the one mom just was furious at how Urkel had eaten the show whole, and the show became about Urkel.
They were all like that because they got everybody was told like the dad, whoever that
Reginald
Yeah,
Val
Reginald Val
Johnson,
Johnson,
the
yeah.
great Reginald Val
he,
Johnson.
he was told that
I don't
he was
believe the
gonna be
Diddy
this-
party, Reg.
He was told he was going to be a star. The
Yeah.
mom was told they were going to be the star.
Well, they were also that was the show was supposed to be about like
The
Paul-
family.
The family
Yeah,
Matters.
and then that ancillary one-off character.
Yeah,
Took over the whole.
But the
fucking-
ratings,
Which
it's
is
like,
now
yeah.
like he's in the zeitgeist of the '90s.
Yeah.
but that's just what I mean.
Yeah,
That
you
shit
just never
happens.
know how it's
Like
gonna-
you're
Right.
you're beholden only to
Where
the
they were
ratings.
Like, how
and,
come I don't have like a lunchbox or like a doll?
But Carl,
Yeah.
Carl went on to have like good dynamic with Urkel on the screen.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he might not have been thrilled that the show kind of became Urkel's show, but
Yeah,
clearly he liked getting paid. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's still some-
There was a lot of backstage animosity.
Have you ever
about-
heard?
Carl Winslow's still my favorite part of that show.
Have you ever heard the theory, the Die Hard theory?
What?
Okay, so let's go. So Reginald Val Johnson plays a police officer
Die
in Ghostbusters first, and in Ghostbusters, the theory is that he gets so freaked out by what happens in New York City that he moves to L.A. Oh no, what was it? He shot a kid. He shot a kid in New York. That's where he shot a kid, right?
In Die Hard, yeah.
Yeah. So, but the theory was that he shot the kid while he was a police officer in New York City because the kid had like a ray gun that was like a Ghostbusters toy, and he shot that kid. And then he's like, I gotta get out of here. Moves to L.A. Becomes a cop there. Shoots the guy at the end of the movie. Then blah blah. Basically, he has a mental break and is in like a psych ward and creates a life where he's terrorized by the kid that he shot, and that kid is Steve Urkel. I didn't get it all right, but it's basically that.
No, I
like,
got- we got the
we get the
gist,
gist.
yeah.
That's funny.
It's funny. That's cute.
Yeah, Carl's still the star of that show. Is this on me now?
It is on you.
All right.
Number 5.
Fuck. I'm gonna go. I have a lot of picks left here, and I think that's part of the problem. I'm gonna fucking go with King of Queens
That was also one.
because I wanted to pick Perfect Strangers because it was one of my all-time favorite theme songs.
Yeah.
But King of Queens, I watched a shit ton of it. It's got Jerry
we'll-
Stiller on it.
We'll do a theme song
Yes,
episode
Jerry-
too.
Oh, okay.
Fuck yes.
All right, and then obviously
China.
Patton Oswalt was a writer on the show too, and that was like one of his first TV roles, like his first big TV
Yeah,
role.
it was like his break. Yeah.
when he played Spence.
Yeah.
So yeah, that show means a lot to me. That feels
Jerry
like a good number
Stiller's
5.
fantastic in that show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jerry Stiller.
Leah Remini, so hot.
The later seasons of that show, I feel like Jerry kind of started to eat the show up.
What
so.
network is that one? Because that was also one that I used to
CBS.
watch.
CBS.
Okay, damn it.
Hey, there you go. That's my number 5.
Yeah.
Um,
All right. Bring it
okay,
home.
so it has to be studio audience.
Yeah. Because
Cool.
next we're doing regular.
Okay.
Yeah, like
So I'm
one
gonna-
one camera, single camera is what they call it.
Okay, I'll say my regular one.
Yeah.
Then
Well, yeah,
I'll
you have to do that. Yeah.
I'll do a millennial pick that maybe only Tommy watched. But you might have been a little old for this
I might have.
because you're a little bit older than me. But I'm gonna go with Drake and Josh.
Okay.
Okay, I didn't even think about any of that stuff.
Is that a
but
Disney
yeah.
show?
What?
That's
a
a
Disney?
Disney.
Nickelodeon
Or-
show.
oh wait, one
Nickelodeon
Nick. Okay,
show.
yeah, I'm a little bit older for that, but I had.
That's a very
Right.
funny show. when I
That was a funny show. Nicole Yvette Brown was on that show. She was
she's the
movie
manager, the
movie
movie
theater
theater
manager.
yeah.
That's a fun show. I would watch that show with my kids. So like that was one when they turned that one on. I'd be like, okay, this one's pretty fun.
It's
this one's
tolerable
yeah.
for everybody.
Like it was like silly enough and like Josh is fucking very funny.
Yeah.
Like Drake was always like
He was just supposed to be
cool.
like the cool.
Yeah, but Josh was funny as fuck. Josh Peck is funny.
I know literally nothing about this show.
Yeah, it'd be weird if he did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'd be real weird.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel good about that.
Yeah,
so
you
thank
should,
you.
yeah. Yeah, if you just launched into like Drake Bell,
Drake,
a great
this is my
actor, and he
favorite
got railroaded in that whole.
It'd be like
Like
if
he
I had
got
a
fucked
it'd be like if I had
too,
a
yeah.
favorite Bluey episode. Like
Yeah.
that would be like, why do you have that?
All right, well, that was a lot of fun.
It
It was
was.
good. Thank you for coming to Cleveland, America.
It's not a serious place.
Give us your top 5 in the comments.
Yes, top
Please.
5 in the comments.
Bye.